I wake up on Monday morning to someone knocking on our door. Not hammering, just knocking, but at a rapid beat. Tori, are you there? I step out into the hallway and find Minnie waiting for me. Hi. Good morning, I say pleasantly. What's up? I'm just here to remind you that we're running the booze for Valentine's sales this afternoon right after class. I should have mentioned it yesterday, but I was really busy and I lost track of time. I'm sorry. That's fine. I'll be there. I take another look at Minnie. Her face looks blotchy somehow, like the skin under her eyes is a slightly different color than the rest. Are you all right? Just a little tired, that's all. Are you sure? Virginia was sick last week. Something might be going around. No, I'm fine. I'll see you this afternoon. Minnie hurries away and I head back inside to prepare my schedule for the rest of the week. The Valentine's Day order booths are set up all around the quad with 2 tables for each class manned by student officers. The Valentines themselves aren't here though, only the order forms and money boxes. You say what you want and for whom, and the Valentines will be delivered on a Friday morning. Everyone seems happy with the price we've set. It's hard to keep track of everything that's going on, but it feels like everybody has somebody they want to send a happy thought to. Minnie has apparently drafted Jacob to provide extra help for her side. He's stacking and counting the money while she double-checks the order information. I wonder if I should have asked someone to help me. Suddenly, Keo shows up at my table and hands me 2 $50 bills. You need change? I ask blankly. For Minnie. I blink at him. All of it? He glares at me. Right. That's 20 orders from you to Minnie. Just sign your name and the details there. He does so, then slams the pen back onto the order pad and walks away. I guess that's why there have to be 2 tables, so that you can place an order for one of the officers and still keep it a surprise. I can't help but wonder if anyone's buying Valentines for me. Speaking of buying Valentines, I should figure out whether I'm sending any of my own. I only have $15 left, and each card costs $5. I decide to send a funny card to Virginia, a friendly card to Ellen, and I consider sending a romantic card to Professor Grabiner, but given my love note fiasco from earlier this year, he might take offense to that. It's probably just safer not to send him anything at all. On Wednesday, Professor Potsdam decides to give us a talk before class. Hello, my rosy-faced lovebirds. Please take your seats. Before we go on with our classwork today, there's something important that we need to discuss. For many people, this is a sensitive subject. However, you are all young adults now, not children, and it is better for us to have this out in the open. Wait, is this going to be sex education? This is the traditional season for young romance, and we don't want to clip your wings. There are no school rules against love in any form. Whoa, I guess it is. Sort of. As long as you and the other person or people that you are with are enthusiastic about whatever you're doing, we will not intervene. But keep any naughty business out of areas where those who have not consented might accidentally see you. And try not to get too distracted from your schoolwork. Know what you want and be sure everyone else does too. If anyone isn't enthusiastic, whether it's a kiss or a dance or something else, stop and wait. Now, there is one other matter that would require punishment. As students, you are not allowed to carry children. Breaking this rule will result in equal punishment for all parties concerned, and we will know who you are. Trusting your partner is an important part of romance, but in this case, take your own precautions as well. If you don't think your green magic is up to the task, or you have any further questions, please come and talk to me after class. Now, let's get back to magic. On Thursday, in Black Magic class, I finally learned the seal spell, which would have come in handy when we were making the candles last November. It costs 10 mana to perform and fixes objects in place or fuses them shut. On Friday morning, the Valentines are delivered. Even though I sent friendly cards to Virginia and Ellen, no one sent anything to me. I didn't expect Professor Grabiner to send me anything, but not even my friends? I couldn't deny that it stung more than a bit. Ellen looks at the Valentine I sent and smiles. At least I could make her happy. Virginia's got my Valentine in one hand and she's waving it around the room. I guess this means you like me. You really like me. What is that quote from, anyway? Ellen asks. I don't know, Virginia replies. It's just something people say. Ellen sighs. If we had computers here, I could look it up. Well, I shrug. It's not important. My first Valentine's Day as a married woman, and I didn't even get a card. I know I shouldn't be disappointed. I know I shouldn't have expected anything. But I guess I was just a silly teenage girl, after all. Professor Grabiner sighed as he dumped the pile of prank love letters into the garbage. As bothersome as it was, at least their funds contributed to the school. If students wanted to throw away their money on something as banal as a prank, then by all means. He was a bit relieved to see that Tori had not gotten him anything. He could recall having seen her in class only once over the past 2 weeks, and it seemed that she had finally gotten the message that he wanted absolutely nothing to do with her. He couldn't deny that the thought upset him more than it should. He thought he wanted Tori to stay away from him, but at the same time, it wasn't fair to punish her by impeding her education. She was still a student of the academy, and each student was entitled to a full education. It was true that his breath was wasted on some students more than others, but Tori was bright and she was capable. It wasn't fair to stunt her magical growth because of this unfortunate happenstance. Why, hello there, Hieronymous. He immediately cringes as Professor Potsdam comes up behind him in the hall. Are you and Mrs. Grabiner enjoying a pleasant Valentine's Day? Silence, he thunders. We are in the middle of a hallway, Petunia. Do not speak of it so openly. I can't help but notice that Tori has been coming to a lot of my classes lately, Potsdam offers. I see her almost every day now. Is there any particular reason for that? Professor Grabiner just shakes his head. Were you not the one who punished the girl with 10 demerits because she refused to attend other classes? I was merely trying to encourage Tori to broaden her horizons, she insists, and it appears she has. Now, I must ask again. Is there a reason Tori has been showing up to more and more of my classes? She has already learned almost every blue magic spell I teach at this year level, Hieronymous says after a moment of consideration. Therefore, she only stands to benefit by attending other classes to round out her magic. That's so good to hear, she says as she claps her hands together. Now, do you have any plans? A romantic dinner, perhaps? No. He doesn't offer anything more than that. Oh, Hieronymous, it's Tori's first Valentine's Day. She hasn't gotten a card from anyone else. Do you really plan to let her spend her first Valentine's Day all alone? He hesitates. He thought about how she had spent her Christmas holiday completely and utterly alone. He felt bad for her, but he would never, could never, admit that to Petunia. Such is the cost of her foolishness, he says simply. At least the marriage will be dissolved by next January. Perhaps she will have better romantic prospects then. He quickly teleports away before she can say anything more. Professor Potsdam stops dead in her tracks as she crosses her arms over her chest and huffs. Hieronymous was being stubborn, although that in itself was nothing new. She had expected him to be reticent to start a relationship, but, if anything, the marriage seemed to have the opposite effect of what she had intended. She thought that the marriage would be the final push to help them admit their feelings for one another, but now they were barely on speaking terms. Perhaps she was going about this the wrong way. Hieronymous could not be persuaded, but an impressionable teenage girl definitely could be.